The next child born to walk in Ada was Frances Ellen on March the 8th, 1933.
Well, I'm Frances. I was the third child, and I was named after Ellen. That was Grandma Pelt's name. And I don't know where Mother got Frances.
They bought a piano. I don't remember when it was that they bought it, but he told them Frances were in grade school, and they both. And they gave Etoile lessons, and the next year Fran was going to take the lessons. Well, Fran had been sitting at home listening to Etoile practice, practice her songs on the piano. Well, the next year when Fran started taking, man, that teacher couldn't get over it. How that kid could learn those songs so fast. She finally just reached over and removed the music. Fran wasn't learning to read the music. She already knew the songs.
No, anyways, I was up there in that attic, and I had paper dolls all over the place. I'd have little houses for different people. I don't know, probably my friends, or I don't know. But I'd cut out paper dolls out of the catalog, and I'd make little furniture, and the shoebox lid was my car, and I'd put seats in it, which wasn't very complicated to do, and then I'd use that for my car. And I'd make chairs and beds and all kinds of things like that out of paper.
I remember her apartment, her house, wherever she lived, was always looked immaculate, and looked like it was something out of a magazine or something with her decorating skills. And a lot of mirrors. And then there was these old cattails that she used to. Bob, her husband, would come up, and they would come up, and Bob would go squirrel hunting up in the woods, which is now Richardson Acres out the Granddaddy Road. There was pretty thick woods up there, and Bob would go hunting, squirrel hunting, and I'd go along with him. And she always wanted me to pick her some cattails. And I'd bring them back to the house, and then she'd spray paint it. Next time we'd go to Fran's, I'd see them in a milk churn or in some kind of vase, spray painted gold, and decorative. So she was always taking things like that and making something decorative out of it for the home. But
then I guess JW and Flo, they would have to chop wood, or for the cook stove, and make sure it was in, and me and Etoile would have to wash dishes. This was after Mom and Daddy was both working, and we would if we were at home, if it was in the summertime out of school, well, we'd have to start supper, and we'd also fuss all day about which one was going to wash the dishes. And they would sit there all day until we could see Mama and Daddy walking down the road, and we'd have to get in there and start getting those dishes done,
And on July 22nd, 1935, Franklin Delano, or Flo as he is called, was born.
My dad, he was a Democrat, and he named me Franklin Delano. For obvious reasons at that time, Franklin Delano was the man that was coming out of the Depression, president that straightened WPA and put everybody to work, and that, my dad was sort of a Democrat, period. But of course I grew up, and he had said later on when I was about 15, he said I was the only Republican in the family when somebody asked him was he a Democrat.